We are so glad that you are here. You picked one of the best weekends to be here at LCBC because it's summer kickoff. And it's kind of crazy to think that summer is here already. Like, school is winding down and we're preparing and planning for all the fun that summer has for us. Like, think about some of the great things that summer has for you. Going to Hershey Park. Maybe it's planning a trip to the beach, or something simple like after dinner, your family just goes out and gets ice cream. Or just being in the sun and forgetting to put on sunscreen and getting so burned. Well, okay, maybe that last one I'm not really excited about. But here at LCBC, we even have great things planned for you this summer. And here in Collide, we will always do 3 things. One of those things is we're gonna have fun. This summer, we're gonna have so much fun together. And maybe you've already experienced some of the fun that Collide has, or maybe this is your first time in Collide. I'm so excited for you to have all the fun that we have planned for you. The second thing we do at Collide is we hang out with new friends. When you come to Collide, you belong here. We have a group for you. We have friends that want to get to know you. Whether it's old friends or new friends, here you're gonna meet people and you're gonna make friends. The third thing we do is probably the most important thing, and that's that we learn about God. We sit down together, we open the Bible, and we want to hear what God has for us. I want you to know that God has a plan for you and He loves you, and you are going to hear that here at Collide. We want to introduce people to Jesus, and together we want to follow Him. The Bible has so many interesting things to tell us. There's some crazy stories in there, and there's a lot of great passages where we get to learn how to live better. One of the most famous passages in the Bible is called the Sermon on the Mount. It's a story where we see Jesus standing on a mountain teaching people. I know, really creative title there, the Sermon on the Mount. But what Jesus is doing in this passage is that He's helping people know how to live lives that follow Him. It may be one of the most important sections in Scripture because it shows us how we should live. So I want to open up Matthew chapter 7, and I want to read to you a section where Jesus tells us how our lives should look. Let's check this out. Matthew 7, verse 24 says this: "Anyone who listens to my teachings and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on a solid rock. Though the rain comes and torrents and the floodwaters rise and the winds beat against the house, it won't collapse because it's built on bedrock. But anyone who hears my teachings and doesn't obey it is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand. When the rains and the floods and the winds beat against the house, it will collapse with a mighty crash." This passage, this Sermon on the Mount, spans 3 chapters. It's in Matthew 5, 6, and 7. And you may think it's a little funny that we're kicking off the summer starting at the very end of the Sermon on the Mount. But do you see what Jesus is saying in this passage? He's saying all these teachings you just heard from me. In chapter 5, and chapter 6, and chapter 7, if you do these things, if you follow me, your life is going to be built on a solid foundation. That solid foundation needs to be Jesus Himself, the way He teaches us to live. When you come to Collide, you are going to hear about a life that is built on the solid foundation. That is Jesus. So we want you to keep coming back to Collide. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to continue to look at these passages in Matthew 5, 6, and 7. We're going to hear from the words of Jesus of what it looks like to follow Him. And we know that following Jesus can be kind of hard. But we want you to know when you follow Him and when you believe the things He says, that you are going to receive His power to do those things. Because we know life can be really hard. Even over the summer, life can be hard. Sometimes friendships fall apart. Or maybe you're just coming out of a really hard school year that didn't really go the way you wanted. But we want you to know, when you follow and obey the teachings of Jesus, your life is going to have a solid foundation. We are so excited for you to be a part of Collide. We want you to keep coming back because we are going to continue to do 3 things. We're going to have fun together, we're going to hang out with new friends, and we're going to learn more about God. We're so glad you're with us.